Hello, here's my audience. Randa, my sister, Braylee, my niece, and I have on FaceTime my sister and her husband. I'm Blake Power, and I'm about to talk to y'all about smartphone addiction. Nathaniel Brandon, author of The Disowned Self, wrote, "Today's students are the most technologically connected in history. Technology is shaping modern relationships with others and with ourselves. With it, students are increasingly connected to the world, but alarmingly disconnected from themselves." On that thought, being addicted to your smartphone is a real problem in today's society. You may agree that smartphones are extremely useful for our everyday needs, such as Googling how to cook a meal or to search how to explain the news to your girlfriend that you're just not that into her. But overall, use of your smartphones can be harmful to yourself in a psychological and physical way. I will explain to you the harmful effects that come along with smartphone addiction, as well as how we can limit the use of our little computers we call smartphones. Being overly dependent of a smartphone can develop issues like social anxiety, interpersonal skills, and health problems. These problems mostly persist among teenagers rather than adults. A study by Cone Children's Medical Center, 3,000 teens die each year from texting and driving. Smartphones give the capability for teens to escape from any situation from the real world, like sitting at a red light and 5 o'clock traffic. We tend to pass the time by looking on these tiny screens to avoid everyday responsibilities. The next time you go out to dinner, you can see this for yourself. You will see that people around you are avoiding conversations with others by being on their phones. According to MD Dale Archer, restaurants are answering the demand and enforcing a no-cell policy, aka quiet zones, even offering discounts for patrons who leave their cell phone with a receptionist. Smartphones can really alleviate us to avoid social interactions with others. Overuse can create bad habits of your social skills. The website addictiontips.net suggests that people are so much engrossed in fancy applications, exciting games, and interesting conversations that they fail to make a vulnerable interaction and fulfill their commitments. Smartphones have changed the way we relate to friends and our family members. Jovel Allengod makes it clear smartphones get in the way of our relationships, making it impossible for us to wholeheartedly devote our attention to the present moment. As a result, we lose many moments of wonder that are unique and never to be lived again. Whenever you use social media or texting, you learn to multitask. For instance, looking down at your phone while someone is talking to you. Just like if I were to be on my phone while I was speaking, it's just not a very good habit to have. This will influence a social skill habit for us to have a hard time remaining eye contact while you talk. Also unfold us to have a hard time holding a conversation. I'll explain it. During social media, you have the ability to edit what you say. People become used to supervised talking methods, which really hurts their face-to-face social skills. In this setting, there's 2 communication methods. Communicating through social media, where you can say exactly what you want, exactly how you want it, and being yourself and explaining the true words that come to your mind. If leaning heavily toward talking with social media rather than talking in person, you can experience stress from not being able to communicate with others. Loneliness will often set in. All these bad habits that cling to smartphone abuse can cause unhealthy lifestyles. MD Jane Leonard gives us an explanation of some effects from smartphone addiction. Depression, sleep deprivation, anxiety, obesity, insomnia, the list goes on. I'm not saying that having a smartphone is bad, but using it in a correct manner will make a difference to you if you have any of these effects. There is a way to limit the use of smartphones that will explain the technique, and I will explain techniques to help limit the use of a smartphone. Understand that your problem is not your smartphone, but the overdependency can cause the problem. Editor Lorenzo Legato from the Huffington Post explains that a Gallup poll surveyed 15,000 smartphone users. 51% of women admitted that they cannot live without a smartphone, while 41% of men said the same. You simply cannot survive without your smartphone in today's world. That's obvious, but there's a line that must be drawn to know when to use it and when not to use it. Many websites have been created to help get the word out about smartphone addiction, as well as how to overcome it. Katie Steinmetz of Time magazine has come up with a simple step-by-step solutions to smartphone obsession. Recognize the problem. Accept the fact that you have an overdependency of your smartphone. A lot of the time, some people become unaware of their addiction and X out that a smartphone is not the root of their problems. Set short-time goals. Android and Apple have apps to help manage your time spent on your device. For example, the app called Moment tracks your usage and allows you to set your daily limits. You can even use a setting that forces you off your phone by flooding your screen with annoying alerts when trying to extend your screen time. Spread the word. Give your social media leads a heads up that you will be less active to liking a comment on their post. And last but not least, shut it down before bed. Reading on a bright screen can delay sleep, cause less deep sleep, and make you less alert the next day. Try an old-fashioned paper book instead. The simple guide that I have explained is just one way to kickstart a better life without always having that smartphone by your side. Although smartphones are devices that we cannot live without, they are extremely useful and make our life easier. They offer news, weather, navigation, camera, utilities, email, and entertainment, all at the tip of your fingers. As I explained, overuse of this technology can be detrimental to your well-being. I hope that I have informed you of smartphone addiction and how to overcome it. Author Rebecca McNutt once said, "These days we have smartphones, smart cars, smart boards, smart everything. But consider this. If technology is getting smarter, does that mean humans are getting dumber?" Thank you for listening.